Thanks for coming for our bite-sized talk today. My name is Jake Tinkham, a Senior Account Executive here at Arcadia. I'm joined by my colleague Connor, if you want to give a quick wave, as well as one of our customers, John O'Neill, out at WakeMed, to talk to you about delivering some insights out into your network. But before we get started, for those who do not know or are just walking by, at Arcadia, we are a data and analytics company. We have expertise in value-based care, as well as data-intensive and care delivery modules and reimbursement modules. We aim to transform the data to provide powerful insights and ultimately deliver results and outcomes to providers, health systems, payers, and life sciences. And we're going to talk about a couple of ways how we do that today. The first is how we've seen a number of our customers leverage what we call Foundry. And Foundry is where we see a number of our customers really dig into the data, and they're able to kind of slice it and dice it to meet some of their reporting needs. Or, as we've seen in the healthcare system, competing needs within their own network. How they do this is they actually shoot some of the reporting out through some of their own BI tools. It could be SQL, it could be Power BI, Tableau, etc. There's a lot of value that we see to doing this. I know John's going to give a couple examples as well. Some things that we do see, while there's a ton of value to that, it could be kind of labor intensive to getting that developed. And so something that we are starting this year is with our own BI tools to do some Vista self-authoring. Sorry, it's kind of a mouthful. So we're going to talk about one of our customer stories here. I have some as well. I do want to give a quick shout out to IHP because they said they're listening to the live stream. I don't know that. If they're not, then you know what? I'll show this recording to them and give them a hard time later out in San Diego. But as much as I love the weather out there, we're going to go cross country to North Carolina. And I'm going to hand it over here to John O'Neill. So John, if you want to give a quick introduction on yourself and just talk about what you're doing out at WakeMed.
Yeah, sure. My name is John O'Neill. I'm the Director of Analytics and IS at WakeMed Key Community Clinics. And we're doing a lot of stuff with Foundry, and we've done so by creating a kind of analytics stack that really utilizes the database and allows us to do a lot more reporting or dashboarding with it. So we use basically 3 other programs to connect to the database: Microsoft SQL Server, RStudio, and Tableau. Each of these give us kind of a unique way of being able to connect to the data and create reporting a little easier and faster and much more standardized. So with these 3 programs, we do a lot of stuff with exploratory data analysis. So if a provider needs some information about what their population looks like, or we want to kind of understand how different diagnoses are working within our network, we do a lot of stuff with population segmentation and kind of cluster analysis within RStudio with this. We do a lot of, we've been trying to do a lot more automated reporting, utilizing RStudio's kind of functions and Tableau, so that we can create these reports that we can set out to the field on a monthly basis. So they always have this data refreshing that is a little farther advanced than, say, what comes out of the box with Arcadia. We do a lot of dashboard creating, so we can give our board members an idea of how the overall health of the network looks. And finally, we're just starting this, but we're doing a lot of model building to kind of really understand how cost works, how populations dynamics are affecting our practices, and what we can do to help them better understand them so they can serve them in a better way. That's all my stuff?
Hi, everybody. Connor Navrude again. So I want to talk a little bit about Vista self-authoring. So as Jake and John talked about, we have several clients that are using Foundry to extract data out, push out to different BI tools. And for the longest time, that was their way of being able to use custom reporting to meet their specific needs. As we know, healthcare is very complex. It's very local, so every single client of ours has specific needs that they need to address. And while we've had Vista for quite some time and have pushed out some amazing standard content through Vista, we now have Vista authoring that really allows our clients to be self-service and can build Vista dashboards completely on their own. We will, of course, be happy to advise and give feedback, but this really allows our clients to not have to rely on us to push out new content. It's truly self-service, just like any other BI tool that you potentially use externally from Arcadia. Now you can really use that use case here inside of Arcadia and keep that clinical data and reporting centralized inside the Arcadia platform. It's powered by Foundry, so it's using that same data that our clients are always used to. But a great aspect of this too is you can actually load external data from different sources into our sandbox data environment. And John and team have already been taking advantage of that quite a bit to push up different data sources that we may not have in Arcadia and merge it with our standard sets of data that we already have in Arcadia to really meet your specific needs. There's a lot of great collective knowledge that we gain together as partners through this. It's an environment that allows several analysts to work on a similar project, allows Arcadia to see what you're doing and work with you if you're interested. And it's very simple. We can distribute it very easily, securely, and really scale it up very quickly. So role level security is very important. So if we want to have in John's network, for example, if they want to push out some of that data modeling and segmentation on how is a practice taking care of a specific cohort. And I want to show, hey, I want to show this clinic, A, how are you doing just by yourself and against the benchmark, but I don't want you to see any other clinic's data. I just want you to see what you're doing and how you're performing against other people. Vista Authoring allows us to do that, keeps it secure, and we can scale it quickly. Move to the next slide. So really quickly, why is self-authoring it's my favorite tool of Arcadia, but why is it so great? It's that out-of-the-box content we already provide in Vista. You can tune it and do what you want with it. Our standard content is amazing, but as I said, every client is different and they need to have that capability to make tweaks as they want to. So those standard Vista dashboards are a great starting point, but you can start from scratch. If you want to just build your own code, you can build your different visualizations all from scratch. You can do that here. And we talked about that very local specific needs in different initiatives that you want to stand out that are very specific to you. That's what authoring can give you. And I talked about it, but it keeps all that data centralized and you can really expand your internal reporting and not always have to take Arcadia data out, go build custom dashboards elsewhere that is another login. And it's not like with authoring single sign-on, they get in Arcadia, they can see the reports that have been built for your needs. And we have quite a few clients like John that are bringing in that outside data to bump up against the clinical data, the claims data, whatever you already have inside of Arcadia, and really great tailored approach to your needs. And thinking about those custom incentive programs, I have a CIN client, I have John as an ACO client, I have nonprofit payer in the crowd too. There's specific needs and they have to be very customized to your needs. So that's what authoring can give you. And I think one of the fantastic areas that John's going to talk about is that reduced development lifecycle time and what that can give our clients. So I'm going to hand it back to John to talk about that.
Yeah, I think this is really, the self-authoring is going to be really important for us because we have a pretty small staff and we have a pretty complex stack. So my team needs to know a lot of different code. And if we have Vista self-authoring, we're going to be able to look, especially for data, exploratory data analysis and some of our dashboard reporting. It's going to be a lot easier for us to do that with the small team I have. It will reduce the number of hours we're spending coding and QAing our work, which takes way too much time and doesn't add a lot of value to our reporting in general. So for us, we're really excited about this because it's going to be able to scale up our reporting capabilities much quicker, and we'll be much more secure with the output we're putting out there without having to spend hours and hours QAing it. So I'm really excited about it, and we really can't wait for it.
And it is something that we, again, are just rolling out this year. You talk about the hours that go into developing that. Obviously, there's certain health systems and analysts that are really true to what they have built, and they're very proud of what they have built for the last, 5, 7, 8 years or whatnot. So we understand that development is also why we see at the beginning of this how they leverage Foundry through their other external BI tools. When we talk about the customization, there's a lot of different reporting needs. I have a customer who in the Northeast who flat out told me, he said, look, Jake, we get the cardiologist. I am lucky if I get 30 seconds of her time in 1 month. And so I need to tailor this one dashboard and boom, she just understands everything. And they just had to tailor it to her needs. It says, all right, got what I need. It's 30 seconds and then boom, out. Maybe has a question here or there. Part of this is also to get discussion going. I have another customer in the Midwest. We're We are developing a custom dashboard at the moment while we're getting Vista rolled out there. They already are seeing some of the benefits with their geriatrics. So they went through geriatric practice, said, all right, here's some of your quality measures. A big discussion point was AWV. It was at 11%. And that sparked debate. Let's just put it that way. And not debate, it was conversation. It's okay, why is our number like that? We understand it's geriatrics, so we do get that it's not a PCP, but it just started the conversation. So now they're having more in-depth conversations as a group so they can start strategizing how they're managing their population. Anything else?
I think we're good.
With that, I know there's going to be questions in the audience. I actually gave IHP a shout out on live stream since someone wasn't here, but now you are here. Yes, you can ask a question. So real quick, for those who couldn't hear, just was asking on, if you have Vista Standard, is it part of it? The answer is no, it is an addition to, so it's not part of the subscription. The second question is for John. So John, the question was, here's how you're using your existing stack within the data at WakeMed. Is this something that is, supplementing the existing? Is it replacing? Maybe a bit of both.
I think it will replace a number of our reports because currently we're doing a lot of reverse engineering on Vista already to take the same visualizations and put it in Tableau. And so those reports will probably just go by the wayside. But we do a lot of other stuff that we do in Tableau that we are really modifying a lot of the data in Arcadia or supplementing with outside sources that at least right now, we're not aware that it will be working with Vista self-authoring. So, we're just really excited about how we can especially scale it with our practices because, we have 500 doctors or so, and each one of them really only cares about their patients. So if, they don't really care about the huge aggregate all the time. So if we can show them the power of their own data and how they can leverage it, it's gonna be a lot easier. And this just makes it a lot quicker and secure for us to do that for them. So I think it's gonna be supplementing at first, but as it grows, we'll see if we can get rid of Tableau. I'm fine with that.
And a quick comment on that too, when we're talking about using the standard content we already have, being able to use authoring allows you to really open up the hood of the engine and see all the code that's underneath it. And that's kind of what John was alluding to. That's something that once we kick it off with them, that's going to be the first thing we do is be able to give them access to all the SQL and all the code underneath our standard content. So it makes life a lot easier for them to use that and scale it quicker.
Other questions? I actually have one for John. Okay. Yeah, I have one for you. Well, WakeMed. So what are the top two things, like initiatives that you're looking to roll Vista out with first, if you're allowed to answer?
Yeah. So we have a board meeting that we do every month with our providers own the ACO, so they can they need to get these dashboards. We currently create those by reverse engineering Vista dashboards already. It's just easier to present it that way with them. So we're going to do that primarily first for that. And then secondly, our care management team wants to use it a lot. They are continuously asking me for new visualizations, and I have like a list that's probably a mile long. And so we're going to give them the opportunity to get in there and work with our analysts to create dashboards for themselves, because they always have new initiatives they're trying to work on based off of their own wants and needs. So it would take a lot of my time. It'll give it back to me. So I'm really excited about that.
The question is, can we export Vista into a PowerPoint? I'm not sure if we can do that yet.
Not right now. I know we can do CSV and Excel, but yeah, we don't have a way to bring it out of Vista and standardize it right into a PowerPoint. Yeah.
What I have seen, well, I've seen two. One is realistic, where someone will literally screenshot it. Just screenshot it, put it in a slide. It's a very interactive tool. So I have another customer in Northeast. They use it for their, they call it JOC, like Joint Operation Committee meeting, I believe is what they called it, with all their payers. And so they're just able to go up and just show like payer by payer where they're at. They also just can show live how their ED visits are going. So a lot of them are getting more and more comfortable with actually just logging in and showing it and presenting it as is.
We actually do a bunch with exporting the CSVs and bringing them into Tableau and just recreating the dashboards. Some of those CSVs aren't great for it, but the majority of them we work really well with, just pointing downloading it and pointing to it and just recreating it. So.
All right. Well, thanks for coming and joining us today.